Have you ever stopped to realize that your financial life could radically change in just 180 days? I am not talking about a decade of grinding labor or waiting years and years to see some kind of result. I'm talking about 6 months, half a year. The same amount of time many people waste binge-watching shows, scrolling endlessly on their phones, or burning money on things they don't even need. Have you ever asked yourself why, despite working so hard, money slips right through your hands? Why is it that the more you earn, the faster it seems to vanish? The problem isn't what you make, it's what you let escape by not knowing how to organize, multiply, and direct it. Today, you're going to discover how 180 days, applying the principles Robert Kiyosaki and other great financial minds teach, can completely redefine the course of your life. But before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear could be the dividing line between a life of debt and a life of abundance. And make no mistake, this isn't about waiting decades. It's about using the next 6 months with an intensity and clarity most people never will. The first truth you need to understand is that time doesn't forgive. 6 months will pass no matter what, whether you make a decision to change or not. The question is, in 180 days, will you be richer or poorer? The system wants you to keep believing that wealth is distant, untouchable, reserved only for a chosen few. But the reality is that wealth is the outcome of organization, mindset, and discipline. Imagine your financial life as a bucket with holes. No matter how much water you pour in, it always leaks out. Unless you patch the leaks, unnecessary spending, high-interest debt, impulse buys, you'll never fill it. In 180 days, you might not be a millionaire, but you can close those leaks and finally start to build. And here's the challenge. Will you keep dragging around a broken bucket? Or will you finally build a solid reservoir? That single choice could mark the line between a future of misery and one of freedom. Another trap is the golden collar of the paycheck. It shines, it looks attractive, it gives you the illusion of security, but it's still a chain. Millions of people are shackled to their monthly paycheck, convinced they're safe because they have a steady job. But one layoff, one crisis, one downturn is enough to bring the whole thing crashing down. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that the true path to freedom isn't relying on one paycheck. It's building multiple streams of income. In 180 days, you can begin developing at least one new source of revenue, whether it's through smart investments, side hustles, online businesses, or financial education that helps you turn little into much. And here's the shocker. While most people wait their entire lives for stability, those who grasp this truth can, in just 6 months, get much closer to real independence. Because the golden collar, no matter how shiny, is still a collar. And unless you cut it now, you'll spend years believing you're free while remaining chained. Now let's talk about the invisible army of compound interest. For those who don't understand, interest is a brutal enemy, turning small debts into monstrous burdens. Credit cards, payday loans, long-term financing, all of these are soldiers in the bank's army, marching against you. But for those who do understand, compound interest becomes an army of allies working silently to multiply invested capital. In 180 days, you might not see a fortune yet, but you will see the power of discipline at work. Every dollar wisely invested in that time becomes a seed planted, ready to grow into a fruit-bearing tree. And the question you must answer is this: will you keep feeding the bank's army, or will you start commanding your own? More than that, are you ready to stop being a hostage and start being the commander? Because in the financial battlefield, you either lead or you're led. Another critical point over these 6 months is breaking free from the trap of consumerism. Society is designed to turn you into an automatic spender, Sales, limited time discounts, psychological triggers, all of it is part of a machine that pushes you to spend before you even think. Every unnecessary purchase is like a stone tied to your feet while you are trying to swim toward financial freedom. In 180 days, you can train your mind to resist these traps. That doesn't mean living a life of scarcity. It means learning to say no to the trivial, so you can say yes to your future. Here's the truth. Every dollar saved today can become a powerful lever tomorrow. But are you willing to trade immediate pleasure for long-term reward? Because if you're not, you'll spend another 6 months stuck in the same cycle, watching your bank account bleed from small choices that seem harmless, but when combined, become devastating. Planning is another pillar. Organizing your money isn't just about writing down income and expenses. It is about building a strategy. Think of it like chess, where every piece has a role. In 180 days, you can design a simple but powerful plan. Define percentages for essentials, an emergency fund, and investments. It's not about complicating, it's about putting every dollar to work toward your goals. The difference between those who prosper and those who sink isn't at the size of their paycheck. It says the clarity of their plan. Most people live putting out financial fires, reacting to emergencies, improvising month after month. Planners decide the outcome before the game even begins. So ask yourself, are you playing chess with your money or gambling with financial Russian roulette? And more importantly, 6 months from now, will you still be scrambling to put out fires? Or will you have built your own financial fire department ready to stop sparks before they turn into infernos? And we need to talk about immediacy. It's one of the greatest wealth killers. The mentality of wanting instant results, chasing shortcuts, believing in get-rich-quick scams. That's the reason so many fail. Money respects patience, not speed. In 180 days, you won't harvest everything, but you can plant enough to change the direction of your life. Those who understand this don't obsess over when, they focus on how. Because the harvest is inevitable for those who plant. But the impatient would rather sacrifice the future to indulge in a fleeting present. Which one are you? Will you keep being an impatient dreamer, or will you learn to play the long game, like those who build real wealth? Think about it. 6 months may feel long when you're fixated on today, but it's just a blink compared to decades of financial slavery. Another enemy you must conquer in these 180 days is fear. Fear paralyzes. Fear keeps you trapped in your comfort zone. Fear convinces you it's better not to try than to risk losing. But fear is just a shadow, not reality. The truth is this: if you don't take risks, you're already losing because you're forfeiting what you could gain. Organizing your money also means organizing your courage. Courage to invest, courage to say no, courage to change. If in 6 months you can weaken the grip fear has on your financial decisions, you'll be on the right track. Ask yourself, what's riskier? Taking the leap to change, or resigning yourself to a lifetime of financial slavery? And here's the detail few notice. It's not the size of the risk that matters. It's your willingness to learn from it. Every mistake becomes a lesson, every misstep becomes experience, and every attempt is a step closer to the top. In the end, it all comes down to choices. Every day for the next 180 days, you'll have 2 doors in front of you. One leads to the same life of debt, stress, and dependency. The other opens the path to financial freedom. It's not magic. It's not a trick. It's not luck. It's decision. It's discipline. It's vision. 6 months are enough to transform habits, build a plan, start investing, and change how you handle money. Time will pass either way, but the results you get depend entirely on what you do with it. Most people will keep waiting, postponing, hoping things will magically improve. But you don't have to be most people. So the question is, in 180 days, Will you still be stuck in the same life, or will you have started a journey you'll never want to turn back from? And here is the key: 180 days, and at the end of the journey, they were the beginning of an irreversible transformation. After that period, you'll have built the foundation for something much bigger, something that can take you to levels of wealth and freedom that today might feel impossible. As Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. If you decide to cross that bridge in the next 6 months, you'll leave behind a life of stagnation and step into the territory of prosperity. So, if this video made sense to you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Because your path to financial freedom can start today, and the timeline is clear: 180 days to change everything.